Hi, everyone. I know that it's um been on our minds, as Michelle says, some truths and some not so many truths. Now, she said that she was a stunt double, and I've not been able to find that on anything. I've checked IMDb, etc., etc. When I first checked IMDb, there was nothing about her, and I think that maybe other people had kind of questioned her about that. And so one day, I think she did create an IMDb. And what she started saying then, not too long after, she was saying that she was in a documentary, and it was a documentary about her. I wanted to kind of show you what the documentary about her would be. I'm going to show you. Come on over here without further ado. Here we go. Okay, so if we go over here, and as you can see, I looked up Michelle Sabate stunt double and nothing came up. And then what I found was this. I've read this before, and I kind of wanted to see if I could show you this. I don't know if this is going to record or not. Like I say, I'm old. I'm not talented. I'm doing the best I can here. So what we have here is we have this culture mix, and it's talking about it says the Long Live Rock, Celebrate the Chaos, starring Rob Zombie, Ice-T, Duff McKagan, Lars Ulrich, Tom Morello, and Lizzie Hale. Oh, I freaking love Lizzie Hale, man. Rock the on. Now I'm going to go through here in these credits real quick and see if I can see Michelle anywhere here. You guys see if you can or not too. AJ, Allison, Andy, Ash, Bill, Bob, Brant, Caleb, Corey, Dave, documentaries, Drew Pinsky, Duff McKagan, Eddie, Gary, Hailstorm, Lizzie, Harold, Ice-T, Jacoby Shaddix, Jason Flom, Jeff, Jerry, Jonathan, Jose, Kevin, Stolper, LeJean, Lars Ulrich, Lizzie Gravel, Long Live Rock, Celebrate the Chaos, Lizzie Hale, M. Shadows, Machine Gun Kelly, Maria Brenick, Matt Pilfield, Movies, Music, Miles Kennedy, Radke, Rick Sales, Rob Zombie, Seth Boardman, Skillet, Steel Panther, Stephen Harrison, Stone Temple Pilots, Sully Erna, Taylor Momsen, The Offsprings, Taylor Hayes, Yoshiki, Zach Wild, and Sultan Bathory. I don't see Michelle in here. Now what? Let's see here. We're gonna go down. Now this has somebody else crowd surfing. So what they have here is it says Fever 333 singer Jason Allen Butler and Long Live Rock Celebrate the Chaos. And he's the crowd is holding him up. And let me see. And so the coolest thing I've ever seen in the way of crowd surfing was for Ramstein. I love Ramstein, but you have to say it like that after you went to the concert because it just goes through your head and you're like, Ramstein. Ramstein is like freaking the coolest experience you could ever see live. Like, don't even get me started on them. But they put themselves in like this little lifeboat and had the crowd carry it through. And I'm like, oh my gosh, aren't they afraid they're going to fall out? Oh my goodness. So it was like kind of cool. And that was the first time I'd really seen that because I'm not really in that kind of rock where it's these huge mega concerts that have that. And as it says, the culture audience, Long Live Rock, Celebrate the Chaos, will appeal primarily to people interested in watching a documentary that gives a broad but not very revealing overview of hard rock, heavy metal fandom in the United States. So that's kind of what this is. And this is what Michelle calls her documentary. So we go down here and let's see, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so it says here, that it begs the question, why is a documentary that's meant for hard rock and heavy metal fans spending so much time on basic things that they already know about these concerts? The segments on crowd surfing, mosh pits, and the Wall of Death all look like they were filmed as instructional videos for people training to work in concert security, not for people who are in the audiences at these concerts. And it says if you think it's fascinating that some concert promoters hire college football players for audience security at rock concerts, then Long Live Rock is your kind of movie. It says the documentary has an entire segment that on two with Urbana University head football coach Tyler Haynes introducing his team members who do concert security and showing how they interact with crowds at concerts. So, what it says here then is it says, and there's a lot of contradictory statements in the documentary. Although several people in the movie talk about friendly and welcoming communities at these concerts, they also acknowledge that there's a disturbing violence at these shows. The general consensus is that people who choose to participate in a mosh pit and a wall of death should expect to get bloodied and some other type of physical injury. The crowd surfing can also be hazardous, especially for women who are at more risk than men of being sexually groped and assaulted while crowd surfing. Now we know why she likes it. And so what does it have here? It's just talking about that and talking about the different things and the way everything that goes into making a concert like this happen. And then it just kind of goes down here and so it's got they interviewed Dr. Drew Pinsky, so they probably talked to him, about the addiction component. And going down here, and it's just talking about all the different kinds of people because it says here in this one, let me see if I can pop back up to this. It says the stereotypical image of a hard rock heavy metal fan is a white male stoner, but the fandom is a lot more diverse than people think. SiriusXM host Trunk comments, I never liked the cliches and stereotypes that came with this music. People think that you can pick out who is or isn't into this music by how they look. Doctors, lawyers, brain surgeons love this music. The music is way wider reaching than people give it credit for. Now this is true because let me tell you, I've had to have several MRIs, and I've learned to, one of the things I do when I when I have to have an MRI, I tell them I'm claustrophobic and I want the open-sided one. We need to be as open as we can be, and even with it being as open, it's still weird, right? And so I tell them, I'm not going to look at this freaking monster of a machine. I need to be turned to the back. You need to lead me back. I'm going to put a washcloth on my eyes, okay? And we're going to do this all. And then they're like, yeah, cool. That's fine. Whatever it takes to keep you calm. They're like, what kind of music do you like? Let's put on the music right away. And I'm like, do you have any Dawkins, Cinderella, Rat, or that type? And I'm telling you, that will get the whole, the staff will just be, they'll be like, yes, we do. We have that exactly here. And they all have a little play set of their rock. And I love it because then I just kind of talk myself through which songs I can remember the words to and force myself to remember the words, so I don't freak out about, what I'm in the MRI for, the MRI. So that just kind of works for me. And it's really funny because it's kind of a way to bond with people. And Izzy Hale, I love Izzy Hale. So we're just going through here, and it's just all this stuff, it just really talks about the culture and everything. And here you go, right here. We go down here, and we've got this paragraph, and it says, Long Live Rock gives a lot of screen time to the fans who consider themselves to be expert crowd surfers. Are you ready for it? If I had a drum, it'd be... But I don't, so it goes. They include crowd surfing married couple Etienne Sabate and Michelle Sabate, who are shown going to a festival crowd while encased in giant plastic bubbles. Andy McCormick, a mother of two who lives in Georgia, is probably the most memorable fan in the documentary because she likes to crowd surf in her wheelchair. The documentary has plenty of clips showing her doing that. Okay, now we go to the next paragraph. And it says here, McCormick lost one of her legs in a motorcycle accident that killed her fiancé. She has a prosthetic leg, and she likes to be in mosh pits at concerts. McCormick has a lively personality, and she's hilarious when she tells some of her stories, such as an experience she had with her prosthetic leg got ripped off when she was crowd surfing at a concert. The leg was eventually returned to her with an unopened bottle of beer placed in the leg. She also proudly says of crowd surfing in a wheelchair, I've never been dropped, right? Okay, so then it goes in there, and then it just says, It said, although these fan and anecdotes, I can't say it right now. I can't. Anecdotes can be entertaining. Long Live Rock has such atrocious editing that the fan segments sometimes abruptly appear in random moments throughout the film, etc., etc. Okay, so now it goes in here and then it continues to go on and it goes on. It's talking about Rob Zombie, it's talking about this and that. It goes on and see how this article goes. And then it's got Celebrate the Chaos and it's got this and that. Now, this is the Long Live Rock, and it goes to the documentary itself, and it may actually have Michelle in there. I've not went to that yet. I might just do that. But I wanted you guys to see that when Michelle talks about her documentary, it actually has a few other people mentioned. And she's talked about this friend in the wheelchair. She says she's a beautiful model. It's her best friend. Her best friend. Well, how come this best friend has not been here at all? And if her best friend has a prosthetic leg, how is she going to feel about Michelle making such a big to-do about losing a possible tip of her toe and saying that she can't do anything, she can never work again and whatnot, when her self-purported best friend can do all of this with a prosthetic leg that she lost in a motorcycle accident? Makes you wonder. Just dispelling these Michelle stories one at a time. Thank you for listening, and I will talk at you again soon. Thanks again. Bye-bye.